alongside Larry O'Connor.
And joining us right now is Robert Costa, he of the Washington Post. Good to have you, Robert.
Good morning.
So tell us about Aaron Schock, Congressman. He was seen as a rising star of the Republican Party. He's often been voted the best-looking congressman. He had a pretty heavy publicity machine. He showed up on covers of magazines, often with his shirt off, and now he is announcing his resignation. What happened to Aaron Schock?
Well, he decided to resign after facing mounting investigations and questions about the way he spent on both his official campaign account and his congressional account and how he documented a lot of his expenses. And this is the end of a career that was once promising in many ways. Only 33 years old, he was seen as a rising star in the House, an attractive figure, a young figure for a party that doesn't have many youthful members of Congress. But it seems to be a case of someone who's recognized that his problems were becoming too much.
I mean, it was more than just this. I mean, we talked about it a lot. We had a lot of fun with it, about his office being decorated in the style of Downton Abbey. But it was more than that, wasn't it?
It was, and it seems like one of the straws that broke the camel's back was this latest report by Politico about how Schock documented the mileage he got for his car and how he got paid for mileage for his car. According to their report, his car only had 80,000 miles on it, but he got paid in reimbursements by the government, by taxpayer money, for over 100,000 miles. And so that discrepancy was one of many issues that came up over recent weeks about how Schock got paid through reimbursements and whether what he did was right or not.
Well, I for one am not shocked to learn that there's corruption in Congress. I don't want any corrupt or crooked congressmen, and I'm not defending Aaron Schock, but I got to ask. I mean, you know, we've got Charlie Rangel still showing up for work every day with all of the shady financial dealings he had down in the Dominican. We still have congressmen who, according to Peter Schweitzer's book, openly bought and sold stocks immediately after getting secret debriefings in committee rooms about the future of pharmaceuticals and other industries, and then they went and did insider trading on them. That was all, I guess, within the rules, so that's okay. I think the American people don't quite understand why Charlie Rangel is still a respected member of Congress.
There are problems across the board, and certainly in both parties. You look at someone like Jesse Jackson Jr., kind of like Schock, a former rising star from Illinois, Democratic Party. He's now in prison. He pled guilty for a similar offense for misusing campaign funds for personal use. And you see recently we've had Michael Grimm from New York, Trey Raydell from Florida. A lot of different Congress people have been having problems.
Yeah.
This is just one of many.
Yeah, I mean, he also avoided by doing this, you know, the long drip of a congressional inquiry by the Ethics Committee.
He did, and he had quite a legal team behind him. And from what I've heard yesterday on Capitol Hill, he wasn't pressured to get out, but he certainly recognized the legal consequences of being an elected member of Congress and maybe having an ethics inquiry inside the House and federal investigation as well.
All right. Listen, Robert, as yesterday, in the midst of all of this news about Aaron Schock, the Republicans in Congress also tried to submit their budget. Why they did it on St. Patrick's Day, by the way, I mean, it just opens them up to a lot of jokes. You know, what were they drinking when they submitted this? But in a thumbnail, what does the Republican budget look like? And as far as the president is concerned, is it dead on arrival?
It's very similar to past Republican budgets. Paul Ryan's no longer the chairman, but his ally, Tom Price of Georgia, is. There is some discrepancy in the budget about how defense spending and whether it's given too much money to defense, and some Republicans have some concerns there. But it's mostly the same reforms to Medicare, Social Security, cuts on discretionary spending that we've seen before.
And again, in the president's approach on this, are we going to be, at loggerheads again, and the two of them, the administration?
So, because Republicans have the majority in both the House and the Senate, something has to get passed and signed in order to have an actual budget. But the president's not going to sign the Republican budget. If anything, there's going to be a reconciliation process to try to find some kind of compromise.
Any little surprises in the budget?
Mostly, I think it's just questions about where do Republicans want to go on defense? How big do they want the military to be? What some of the smaller programs that are being allocated funds in Homeland Security? some Republicans are raising questions about them. They want to make sure the homeland's protected, but at the same time, they don't want to overspend. So that's kind of the internal debate right now.
Our guest is Robert Costa, Washington Post, talking about comings and goings in Congress. And, John Boehner, he took a lot of fire for his invitation to Benjamin Netanyahu and his speech that occurred 2 weeks ago. Now, after this remarkable victory by Netanyahu in Israel, is Boehner somewhat vindicated, or will he be under increasing criticism from Democrats saying, see, you did meddle in the affairs of Israel's election?
I think most Republicans are very happy that Netanyahu it looks like he's about to win or put together a coalition because as much as the Republican Party supports Israel and so do many in the Democratic Party, it's really the Republican affiliation with the Likud Party of Netanyahu that has raised some eyebrows on Capitol Hill. But now it seems like it's a political call that's gone right for Boehner. He may have gotten criticism for meddling in aspects of foreign policy, but his preferred statesman in Israel has won, and so he still has an ally there.
And yesterday, Boehner also said he thinks it's time for Hillary to cough up the server so that it can be examined regarding her email controversy. Is that going to go anywhere?
It is actually. I mean, Boehner has given his blessing for these investigations of Secretary Clinton. You have Trey Gowdy, Jason Chaffetz, two Republican congressmen continuing to pursue, maybe even going to subpoena documents or subpoena Clinton and her people to come to Capitol Hill. This is something that's not ending. And without a primary, you see Hillary Clinton on Twitter. She's been going after congressional Republicans. She's using them as an opponent. The question for many Republicans yesterday was, can Republicans really score some points here without getting criticism for going overboard?
Yeah, are you surprised? Because I said early on I thought this was a story that was not going to go away easily or soon. As we say in the news business, it has legs. This story really, we still have a lot of questions that are yet unanswered.
Many unanswered questions. And the questions are not only among people in Congress, but it's among members of the press. A lot of Freedom of Information Act requests going out right now. A lot of people are curious about the exact extent of Secretary Clinton's emails, the implications of how she handled certain information. This is not ending anytime soon.
All right, Robert Costa, thanks for joining us. Good to have you here, and don't be a stranger there.
Thank you.
All right, Robert Costa, Washington Post. A fine morning.